Here we are, episode 8, and the scariest episode of 3BT
I'm excited.
ever.
To date.
We're going to talk about horror movies.
Well, it's just scary because Jeremy's in complete control.
I am
Jeremy.
in complete control of this episode. So, David, if you'd like to.
Jeremy has been given complete control, and
There's been no preparation
I would
on
like to start
anybody
the
else's
moderation
end.
at this moment.
hold on a second. Disclaimer, okay? If this is bad, it is not my fault.
Let Jeremy know.
If it is great, then I get all the credit.
However,
Yeah, we'll give you all the credit. That's fine.
If this is like the episode that everyone goes back to saying this is the episode that marked the podcast.
and then me and David will steal it and just keep doing
yeah, it was
again.
just a joke. We
Yeah.
were just making jokes
Well,
about
we'll
you
see
being
what
in
happens.
control.
That's fine.
I was gonna say that means that all of the podcast episodes that are bad already, yeah, majority of those are my fault. But
Even the lost ones.
Well, I guided the one.
yeah, you kind of did
about
the one.
cliches, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that was good.
We
Had
pretty
some
much
good,
share things.
Had some good replies from that actually.
Yeah.
And shout out to people that have reviewed us. Got
So
a
I-
review from
So I'd
Jesse.
say I'm in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, cheers to Jesse Anderson
Cheers.
for the 5-star
You
review.
can't say that.
Oh, that's not trademark. They're
Yeah,
not even
it's
doing.
a-
They're on an indefinite
Yeah,
sabbatical.
Reform Podcast doesn't even
Yeah,
exist anymore.
But it's still, I like to pay tribute to them.
This is a tribute.
Yeah, so
Reminds me of a song.
a song.
A song.
It's a song by Tenacious D. We can all admit where it came from.
He just didn't want to reference it.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, shout out to Jesse and other people. If you have left us a review,
Put your name.
most people's iTunes reviews, their iTunes usernames are like super weird. So we have, I don't know how many reviews now, but most
have
of them
8.
we don't know. 8? Boy,
We
we're
have-
really getting up
We
there.
don't know who you are.
Yeah, we don't know who you are. The only reason we know it was Jesse is because he also sent us his review just like personally as like a shout out to tell us that he really appreciated it. So if you've left us a review, tell us that you did. If you are leaving us a review going forward, like tweet it at us or something so that we know it was
Or
you.
put your name on it.
And also, at some
Yeah.
point,
Own
we're
it.
probably gonna start reading the reviews because we like to.
Yes,
We like
but
to fawn over ourselves.
Only if they're good.
only if they're good,
Only honest 5 stars.
only if they're
Yeah.
funny. But first, right now we don't have time for that because
No.
Jeremy is now given
So
control.
welcome to Three Brothers Talking 3BT. I'm your host, Jeremy, who's really excited to do this.
Oh boy,
And Andrew
Andrew ran away.
went away from us the minute we started doing this. So, David, go ahead.
Oh, I know. I see what you're doing now.
You're not used to this.
No, I'm David. I am your scared host, as I said before.
Oh, that was gonna be mine.
Yeah.
I'm your soundproofing host, Andrew,
Mm.
because I ran up and David was the last one down to my
Yes.
basement and he did not shut the door.
My bad.
It's rules to the basement.
Gotta
I mean, our
keep-
recording studio.
We need our sound quality as high as possible.
Yes.
And also not to keep our kids awake.
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. So, this episode is going to be a little different.
Little out there.
A little out there, a little bit of a fun game we're gonna play for the
Buckle
next
up,
little
folks.
bit. So you might all know us in some way, shape, or form, or you might not. Maybe we've expanded our audience ship beside our
Doubtful,
moms and
but yeah.
grandparents and close friends.
Yeah.
So this whole episode will be a combination of Would You Rather or This or That, Three Brothers Talking Edition.
Which is essentially would you rather.
Yes, it's basically that. Some of the questions will need responses. Well, I thought this or
And
that
some of
with
them
Three
won't.
Brothers Talking. Some of them will be like pretty like, oh, straightforward, like, oh, we just move on.
Okay.
Like some of them are hot takes, some of them are just
Some
like
of them will need expounded upon.
Just to be
Yeah.
clear, some
Okay.
of these questions do need to be answered.
some of them will be.
Some of them you can just let go.
So we're gonna start off with a softball.
So me and David can just pass on
we
most
all
of these.
have to answer.
Not answering that.
We all have to answer the question.
I'm not taking questions today.
I'm
well,
not committing to answering every
You
question.
will you will answer, or you will not be one of the three brothers.
We
Oh.
don't know.
Since you're the one doing most of
And
the
this is
editing.
100%
Yeah.
transparency. We have no idea what he's about to
Yes,
ask.
Andrew or David has not looked at these questions.
So that's why we
and I
are
wrote
not
these
committing.
about a week ago.
We are
Okay.
not committing to answering
So-
until I hear a question.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't
Yeah.
looked at these for about a week. So first question, I'm gonna go clockwise. So David,
Is this going to
Andrew,
be hard
until
if we're
I'm
just
gonna
like
point
on
you.
the spot?
No, it's not that bad.
Some multiplication and
All
stuff.
right. So this or that. This is a softball. Just to get us started, to get your
Okay.
blood flowing. Infant or believer's baptism?
That would be believer's baptism.
believer's baptism.
I will also go with believer's baptism. See, this is easy. All right, number 1.
What if I would
In
have
your
just
face,
thrown,
Presbyterians.
What if I would have just thrown out infant? Like, what
Well,
if
I mean,
I would have
That would have been what the
then.
entire episode just became
Then
about.
we're like, oh,
then
see, there
I
you
would have
go.
just halted the whole game,
And
Jeff.
then we just go on that, and I use my questions later.
No, I would
Yeah.
have ignored it because I'd be like, I'm not ready for a baptism debate right now.
That's
Like,
another
I'm just
podcast.
emotionally not ready.
Maybe we'll
Especially with
talk-
your brother.
if
Yeah.
anybody goes the other way on that, we can maybe talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some people I know that listen that are
Yeah.
presbys.
Well, that's what.
pedos.
Yeah, we can talk
We
about
just won't
that.
let you
Yeah.
babysit our kids during bath time. It's fine.
No.
Okay, second question. CS, you are reading the Bible. Are you grabbing the CSB or the NLT?
Oh,
Ooh.
not really ever the NLT.
You have to pick one. You have to pick either the Christian Standard Bible or the New Living Translation.
I don't read either.
Yeah.
Most of the Bibles I have are ESVs,
No, it's not
but
the
if
question.
I'm not reading the ESV, I'm actually normally reading the New King James. Actually,
Ooh.
KGV only.
All right, Andrew, go. Which one? So wait, no, you didn't pick. You have to pick
I would
one.
pick the CSB.
I would,
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I actually did have a New Living
That's why
Translation
I
Bible at one point.
Mhm.
And I mean, growing up or whatever, we were pretty solid. I think we were all like NIV growing up, mostly.
Mivs.
Yeah. But then, I mean, ever since I've graduated, I think to the ESV, and so yeah,
Graduated.
I guess
So-
if I had to pick one, it'd be CSV. I guess.
All right, I would probably pick the CSB as well because it's closer
Yeah.
to what I'd probably read anyway. And
Yeah.
that's the only question, so I'm not going to talk about my third options here, guys. There's only this or that. Don't get a
Okay.
third thing.
Sorry.
It's not. That's why I said this or that. All right, you're reading a book. Are you
This is
picking one
America.
up by KDY, Kevin DeYoung, or Johnny P, John Piper?
Oh crap.
Doesn't just.
That's a good question.
Oh, number 3. We're on.
That's
three.
a close. I was like, this could be long.
I have read. I've
I
read
don't know
more
between
of
the two
John
of them.
Piper's books. He has more books, so it's
Yeah.
easier to do. I would say. It's tough, man. Those are two of my favorite
All right, I'll
guys.
go ahead and answer mine.
See, yeah, I was like,
I
my
have
answer
Kevin
would be
DeWy.
kind of quick, where it would be between Kevin DeYoung or John Piper, and it would just be dependent on
Yeah,
the
Andrew,
actual.
that's the question.
Well, it would just be.
That is the question we're talking about right
it
now.
would-
So.
I'm saying that like if I was leaning towards John Piper's is like theological heavy and oftentimes more difficult and dense to actually read.
Mm-hmm.
And actually understand that it takes actual, if you're going to concentrate on this, you have to, I even still have to reread
Yeah.
some of what he's written.
Mhm.
Whereas Kevin DeYoung is, it's still very powerful and stuff like that, but it is more,
His
it
books
can
are
be
a
more-
little. Yeah.
yeah, it's a little more as far as able to be grasped right off the bat. So it's a little more, I guess, easier to read and understand off the bat,
Yeah.
at least the ones that I've experienced. So I don't know.
And I think they both write really practical books, which is good. But I would probably pick John Piper because he wrote Desiring God. So
One of your favorites. I would
Yeah.
say. So you said Andrew, Kevin DeYoung.
Yeah, probably. I
You
guess.
said Johnny P. I'd say
I'll just do that.
Kevin
to be
DeYoung
different.
because I think one of my first books I really read and I got into a lot of things was "Hole in Our Holiness" by
Mm.
Kevin DeYoung, which is fantastic. So
And that's a pretty easy read
it's
too.
very easy to
Yeah.
read,
Yeah.
and he communicates very well. I love John Piper. I love his passion. I'd rather listen probably to John Piper talk.
Yeah.
I'd rather read a book by
I think
DeYoung.
that's where I would.
With that being
lean.
said, I love his deep theology.
see,
and
that's tough for me
Desiring
too. Kevin DeYoung is one of my favorite preachers as well, but because I think that he's we don't need to get
John
into.
Piper.
That
I don't
wasn't
need
the
to get into
question.
that.
John
We
Piper's
answered
one
But
of
that's
my
the thing is
favorites.
John Piper is also one of my favorite.
I know. That's
Preacher
why I
as well.
made that. All right. So since last Sunday was Easter, you get to resurrect one show with the original cast
I did
Is
not
it
know where you were going
Community
with that.
or Psych.
Oh,
Community or Psych?
Community or Psych, original cast. And not just see Psych's doing movies right now, but I'm talking about weekly episodes.
Psych.
It'd be Psych.
I think Psych, and here's the thing: I think Psych's original cast
Yeah.
is better than Community's original cast.
See,
That's
just
definitely the acting was better. Yeah.
I
Community
guess
had,
Community basically
had,
Troy and Abed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
If
and
you had
Community
Troy
had
and
great
Abed.
writing, but I don't think the acting was on level with Psych.
So yeah, and I think that Community, if I'm not mistaken, their cast would change pretty significantly, and I don't think they had a great cast until a
Yeah.
few seasons in. And
Caught its stream second season.
yeah, and Psych caught it, but their cast was almost always the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think that their original cast was really good. So
All right. This question comes from a friend of the pod, Rachel. Would you rather use a stranger's
I think
toothbrush?
that's my wife.
Yeah, it is. It's David's wife. David is married. I know it's
Did
surprising.
she actually send this one to you?
She actually sent this.
this
to
is
me.
a question that Rachel
Would
and I
you
have talked
rather
about.
use a stranger's toothbrush or go into a porta potty barefoot?
Yeah, we've talked about this at length.
We've
We've talked about this before, but
I
I want to
would-
hear your
This
answer on the
is-
podcast, so it's documented.
This is a big quandary in our family.
I would rather go into a porta john
Yes.
barefoot
I would rather do the
because
same.
100%.
my feet can get
Aren't your
dirty, whatever. Like it's not my
You have the
mouth.
layer of
Well,
skin there.
If you think
Yeah.
about it prehistorically, your feet were made to be able to get rugged and
Exactly.
like, take on the terrain, and like that's on the exterior of your body.
Yep.
Not
Whereas
inside.
you're not taking it. You're taking the toothbrush to the interior of your
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
So,
Yeah.
Rachel's
this-
on team toothbrush, but
Yeah.
she's crazy.
Faith and I talk about this often.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
basically
Kaylee was
3BT is
toothbrush,
definitely
too.
pro porta potty barefoot.
Because then you just immediately wash your feet and you use
move on.
all the sanitizer and
You
stuff
can't
you can
use.
get.
You
How
can
do
never
you-
brush your teeth enough after that.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, I wonder what it says that we are all about the porta potty, but all of our wives are about the
The
toothbrush.
toothbrush.
You know,
Like, why
I
is
guess
that
we can
boy
prove
and
each
girl
other.
thing?
I think they're more trusting of people
Yeah,
than we are.
I ain't brushing
No,
my teeth.
I ain't
after
touching
anyone.
anybody else's mouth.
Yeah.
I'll
Not
hide,
gonna
my,
happen.
I'll hide my toothbrush before I know.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on that. Question. You are starting a business with a well-known pastor. You can either create a teeth whitening product with the tagline for Joel Osteen called Your Best Whites Now, or
Sign me up.
or a breakfast cereal with Stephen Furtick called Furty Flakes. Which endeavor are you choosing?
The Furty Flakes.
Yeah, that'll be more profitable.
That's a
I
great
think.
name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for actual profit, then I go the Furty Flakes.
I kept on thinking of Wheaties, and I'm like, and Furty, like, got jacked.
Because
Oh, I didn't even think of it at that level. I just
although I
thought
mean,
it was a clever name.
But it was a
If
clever
I'm
name. It
looking
works on
at
multiple
it-
levels. That's
if
what
I'm
I got
looking
it
at
from.
it from a purely monetary standpoint, like Joel Osteen's
got a-
name on anything is gonna make
You're
money.
gonna sell.
It's true. Yeah, he's got the book. He's got the book and everything. Reach. You put an ad for one of his things like in the back of one of his books.
Yeah.
It'll
And
get
like
the
I
clicks.
think Furty's obviously huge too, but I think Olstein's on like
So do you want to
another
make money,
level.
or do you just believe in the product?
I believe in those Furty Flakes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give 'em a
flakes,
try.
man.
All
I
right,
like
so
Frosted Flakes.
I would go
so,
Furty Flakes too. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm imagining a little bit of frost on them.
Yeah,
And
Frosted
they probably
Flakes
have
are one of
like
the
it's
best
just like,
cereals
I just
out
picture
there.
his smile on the box, and some really just like really good marketing from Furty. He can really elevate his game. All right, another question.
That's what it's missing is the cereal. That's really what it's missing.
it is.
Yeah.
He'll get there. You know, he's still young. So you can either
Furtick on a Wheaties box.
He'll get into
That's
the
what
cereal
I just
game
picture it,
eventually.
and then him going, "It's great,"
Yeah.
something like that.
He turned into Tony the Tiger somehow.
He can. He's Furty. He can do what he wants. He turned into like a giant dude when he was like very skinny for years. So
Mhm.
That's
It is
true.
funny if you
I think
see a
it's just
picture of him
called going to
before.
the gym.
yeah, I do know all about that.
Yeah,
Well, I
you've
used to
done
be
that.
big.
Jeremy's over here saying like, "Oh, he got really strong." It's like, that's what Jeremy did.
That's
Like,
That's what you. That's
Yeah.
what he did. All right, so you can either watch ESPN or Fox Sports 1.
Oh,
both of them have
both of them
horrendous
can
programming.
Be, yeah. If I'm watching, I mean, as far as the sports availability, I am one where I just want the pure sports
Mm.
or the sports highlights. I don't want the
Mhm.
commentary and anything else. And so, as far as access and rights to sports, I still think ESPN has the edge, but they also cloud it with all this garbage
narrative.
programming.
All the narrative that goes
Yeah,
along with
and
it.
like just garbage commentary that like I don't care about at all.
See, and Fox Sports 1 has like Skip Bayless there now.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharp.
And like
so
they're
that's
trying to
annoying.
get there too.
who left ESPN?
Yeah.
Honestly, we cut cable completely and I stream everything. So like I'm only watching the games or the highlights anyway. So
Yeah.
We only went on ESPN because of Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Not because of me.
Yeah. Because of, well, I don't know. I don't know. I
What-
can't pick.
You need
I mean,
to
the
pick one.
right-
Just pick
the
one.
actual
Where do
right-
you go?
I'll pick like Fox Sports 1. I think they have better cable sports contracts. I'm not sure.
All right, so Andrew went.
I just went for the
ESPN.
ESPN just because it has more rights to
Yeah.
sports.
That's kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
You get more. All right, this comes from Kaylee.
That's Andrew's wife.
That's Andrew's wife.
I did not know.
And I haven't read these
I didn't know why
questions.
we're even submitting for this.
So would you rather
Apparently.
be able to act? No, that was the fun of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Would you rather accurate? My wife didn't, but we talked about these a little bit.
She didn't.
Would you
contribute
rather
to
be
your
able
episode.
to accurately predict your partner's rock, paper, scissor moves, or a dog that can handle nighttime kid wake ups?
Like,
I'm going with the second one.
to get the kid back to sleep with the
Yeah,
dog?
you just handle the kid wake ups
Well, that is
anytime.
that's 100%.
Is this because?
But think about you could, if you knew rock paper scissors, you could win every argument regardless. So if you did rock paper scissors every
Is
time,
this
she'd have
because
to
you
do
and
it.
Kaylee often have times when you're like, who's gonna go get the kid? Rock paper scissors
for it, or Lucy go get him?
No, we're at a pretty, because Lincoln treats us pretty well, but we usually alternate. Like
Okay.
as long as he doesn't need to actually get up and eat, then
Yeah, you can't help
obviously
with
she
that.
takes care of that. But every other time we just take turns, and like if she's gotten up, then I know I'm next.
The dog would be
But the
super
dog would
handy.
be vital. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You're talking about some alien type of thing though
Yeah.
with the dog.
David, I'm just
That'd
gonna
be
answer.
pretty cool.
You're probably gonna want the dog. I'm guessing
Eventually.
Yeah.
You don't have a kid yet, but I'm just knowing you. You're probably gonna want the
Plus,
dog.
we don't
Yeah.
settle a lot of things.
I'm a
with
sleeper.
Rock paper scissors.
You're asleep. We all are.
Does anybody actually settle their arguments?
No,
with rock,
unless
paper,
they're like
scissors?
on the playground.
Yeah.
So okay, we're all pro
Speak
dog.
for yourselves, guys.
So you're getting lunch. We all eat lunch. Are you going to lunch with Vadi Bakum or Joe Thorne?
Oh, give me Vadi.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna choose that one. Dave.
Just because
I'll
Vadi,
take Joe.
I was gonna go with Joe as well.
I'd actually have a little bit more to start with Joe than Vody because I reviewed some of Joe's books and so like I've got some mutual friends with him.
Yeah.
So from it'd be like easier to jump into that. And we could talk about I don't know, tattoos or something the whole time. You know?
That's
Which-
good. I'm good with that.
That'd be good.
Andrew chose Vadi. That's cool.
Yeah, just because
He would be interesting to
Cody's
get,
pretty
get
cool.
lunch with.
Yeah.
I'm like he's interesting.
It's a
to hear and
football
talk
player,
about.
man.
Yeah.
Talk
You
to you
probably
about
get some
that.
good
Football playing
stories.
Past. He's been in Africa for a while.
Yeah, dude.
Like he's
That's a good, yeah.
yeah.
So you're getting a new job. You work in the office. You can either work in the office under Michael Scott or Parks and Rec under Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson. I love The Office. I love The Office
That's a good one
Listen.
actually.
If you're listening to this podcast, you need to know something. The Office is at least 10 times better than Parks and Rec ever could be.
Oh yeah, we can
Yeah.
all agree with that.
Writing is far superior.
But
Well,
as
it came
far
out
as
first,
which
too.
boss would you rather have,
I'd rather have
even though
Ron.
it means you're working for local government, I'd still rather work
Dude,
for Ron
there's perks.
Swanson.
Okay, I'm sorry, but there's perks working for government from the
How-
standpoint of like pension and all that.
Is this
stuff.
my career? Like
Yeah,
it's my
this is your
okay.
job. You're getting a new job.
Okay, so if
this
it's
is your
my
new
career, I agree that I would go with Ron Swanson because he literally is like wanting to tear down the
you
establishment from
basically have to do
within,
nothing,
and so you basically don't have to do any
Ex-
work.
except for March.
Whereas, if you're working for Michael for your career, you have to keep that company afloat in
Yeah.
spite of him. Whereas, like,
he'd be such a pain.
because like he, you still have to
He's
get
also
work
really
done,
mean
but-
all the time.
He is
Yeah.
very mean.
Yeah.
So here comes another friend of the pod questions. Would you rather, from Rachel, would you rather have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers?
That's not comparative.
You can pick one. Do you want fingers?
but- Wouldn't
Ugh.
wouldn't it be toes as long as?
Yeah, go with toes as long as your fingers. That's fine. I don't know. I haven't really read through all these questions. I'll
The
be
legs
honest
would
with you.
rather.
Wouldn't it be toes as long as your fingers, or fingers
Yeah.
as long as your toes?
Yeah, you could. That'd make more sense. Or arms as long as your.
Anatomically, that
That's
would make-
Or would you
easier.
rather have
Yeah.
arms as long as your legs and legs as long as your arms?
I think my arms and my legs are roughly the same size.
I don't know. Lay down, Dave.
Yeah, my torso is pretty long, so I actually think
I think I'd rather have
longer.
my toes.
I haven't measured lately,
Gosh,
but I
could
think
you
they're
grip
the same.
anything with small toes? No.
I think I'd rather have long toes
Yeah,
I'd rather
I'd
have
than
take
short
the long
fingers.
toes because you just need bigger shoes.
Just get bigger shoes.
Bigger
Sounds weird.
shoes, and now you've got feet on the end of your legs.
And then you can hold whatever you want like a monkey.
you got
Yeah.
4 hands now.
Would you rather talk theology with TD Jakes or Joyce Meyer?
TD Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. We don't need an explanation,
Moving
I don't
on.
think. If
That's
you want to
an
give an
easy-
explanation, be my guest,
I
but I'd
felt
rather go.
Why I laughed there?
Next
That was like an
question.
easy question.
It is
Thank
so-
you. Next.
It is Sunday morning and you're out of town. Are you going to McLean Bible Church where David Platt preaches or Redeemer Fellowship where Joe Thorne is the pastor?
Well, it depends. Am I in Chicago or Virginia?
You're in one of those two
Yeah.
cities. So you can go to either one of those choices. So
if
you're
I'm
in
in
that
Virginia,
city.
I'm going to the church in Virginia for sure.
All right, Dave.
I'd probably-
it's not a perfect question.
I'd probably pick McLean with Platt.
I would visit Joe's church
I probably would go to Joe's.
because I haven't got to meet him yet, and again, it's like I feel like I should have.
It would be really
Just
cool to
'cause-
talk to David Platt.
And that's
though.
where
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Redeemer Fellowship sermons. I love Joe Thorne as
So
well.
you don't want to see him.
But no, like I do take a lot of their their stuff, but I would want to see David Platt just because he was like I said in
He was
previous
pretty
podcasts.
formative
It's
in all
like,
of our lives.
yeah, I was like he was like instrumental in that whole like radical movement. So
Plus,
I
he's
would-
in a bigger church.
if I could, I was like,
Bigger is better.
if I could just like meet him, like maybe if I had the chance to meet him, I would love to do that someday. So
So since
Well,
Yeah.
David, I know you're listening. Reach out
if
to
you guys
Ange.
would like to hang out,
Yeah.
and I don't know,
That'd be fun.
talk,
if you
that would be
wanted to
great.
talk on the podcast,
we could
would
do three
we would
brothers
give you all
talking
the
about doctrine
mics.
and devotion would be a lot of fun.
You
So
Yeah.
David, since you just said bigger is better, you can either go to a mega church or a small church of less than 20 people. Take your pick.
Oh, less than 20 people.
Less than 20 people.
What's a mega church? Is that like
I
more
said
than
over 500.
More than 500?
Mega church.
I don't know.
That's hard.
You said bigger is better.
I don't know. I would.
Okay,
if,
we'll go less than
if
50 people.
if theologically, like if you're talking like
Yeah.
the theology
Both
is the same in
theology is
both
the
churches,
same.
I would go to the bigger one probably. If the theology is the
the
same.
only difference is people number.
But I
Yeah.
honestly don't care. That'd be like, I mean, the church that I'm a part of now
Yeah,
is
like,
like
it doesn't
60
matter at that
to
point
70
then.
people.
That
And
can be your answer.
That's
Yeah.
where like it
I just went off because he said bigger is
it's all
better.
based on theology, so that's not.
I don't know if
20
you
is just
well, some
really
people
small.
will feel completely disconnected
Prefer-
if it's a bigger church, no matter
I
how
mean-
close knit it is. You just would feel that way, regardless.
I would probably honestly lean towards the 20 just because then you have like that intimate community just built in right off the bat. Like
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We're all good. I'd probably go the smaller one as well. So since
That
currently
means
the
you guys are holier than me or something, I bet.
that's exactly what it means. We just wanted the listeners to hear it.
Yep.
So since the Jackets are currently playing and losing, the Jackets can either win the Stanley Cup or the Columbus Crew SC can win another title. Which do you choose?
give me the Stanley Cup.
Jackets winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'd probably go the Cup because we
never
never done
happened.
it
It's
before.
never happened.
Yeah.
And just mark it down right now. They're winning it this year.
Oh, shoot.
All right, it's time for a snack. You grabbing a cupcake, or a
Oh,
donut?
dang it. I thought it was really
Oh,
like you had
donut for
snacks
Dale.
ready
No, I,
for
don't,
us.
I should have brought.
I was like, wait, are we having donuts?
I
Did you
wish.
actually bring those? Because
No,
if so,
it's just a question.
I'll get a donut.
donut.
I do donuts.
I'll do
I'm
donut,
a donut
yeah.
aficionado.
We do love Three Brothers. If a donut company wants to sponsor our
Oh, my
podcast,
goodness. That's the dream.
you get a two
That
for
is
you
the
get a 2-for-1
dream.
deal on sponsorship. No
Yeah.
lie.
Dude, I'll
Man.
cut you half price. And I'll tell you what, last week at work, we had 2 people brought in a dozen donuts on the same day.
I mean, I'm not
We had 2
gonna.
dozen donuts
That's
at
when
work.
I'm not gonna tell you
And
that
for
we're
clarity,
gonna sell out.
For clarity, my company is only like 7 people. So,
So
like
you had a
2
bunch of
dozen
donuts.
You had like 3 each.
That's a good
Yeah.
day.
It
See,
was-
I'm in the. I go around the back, and the back always gets
Yeah.
donuts. And so everyone, okay, they kind of like me in the back, as of now,
That's
which
right.
is good. But they always give me donuts from their cells where they're
That's
working at,
what's-
and then we get some up
Cells?
front
You're
too.
That's
looking
what's
at
We
prison.
call, we call it 5 cells as well.
You working
where
a prison
people
or
work.
something going
You
on?
get those like
Yeah.
I work for Wendy's, big company, and like so
Perhaps
you get
you've
those,
heard of them.
You get the yeah, we sell a lot of hamburgers.
A small hipster burger
burger
joint called Wendy's.
But like you get those mass company emails that are like donuts in the kitchen or whatever, and then like you got to be quick.
They just put
Gotta be
donuts
quick,
like at
those
my
are gone.
or
desk.
else those are gone.
So they'll
You
like bring
better-
a box and put it right on my desk, and I have to sit there all day like I won't
Yeah.
eat those.
That's why
My-
like we share like whenever we bring stuff in for like our immediate like tax folks, we just share it with the few people around us, and then
Mhm.
we keep them to ourselves.
Yeah, my office, like a dozen donuts is like that could potentially stretch to 2 days because
ain't
there's
going
like
to.
No.
there's like 2 for every
It
person.
doesn't
You're,
even
like-
doesn't even last an hour.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't even last probably like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You got hundreds of people in that building.
Yeah.
All right. Another question. You can either have this is talking to someone not necessarily like witchcraft. We're not bringing them back from the dead. They're just alive. So you can either have a conversation. Why didn't we do like a whole like Saul route with Samuel? You know,
Some of these questions are
Jeremy,
really
I
well
would
thought
like-
they're
out.
all over the place.
I would really like to just do the witchcraft version
Well,
of this
okay,
question.
David's choosing the witchcraft.
I am purely
It's a
going based
path,
on
and that's
witchcraft.
fine, David. We'll talk about that in another podcast, I guess, is necromancy. Have a conversation with either
Necromancy today with David.
All right,
It's
who
a
we
boring
talking to?
podcast. You can either talk to the Spurge or John Owen.
Spurge.
I'd probably go with the Spurge.
Just to be different, I'll go with John Owen.
You would.
He's a Puritan. He'd probably talk.
I mean, he probably
Spurge has got the British accent.
I just know that
he'd
the
probably yell at
Spurge
you a little
has
bit.
a
That's
quote
true.
about hardship and pancakes, so he might make pancakes.
Yeah.
And he likes cigars.
The Spurge.
John Owen would probably it'd be a more animated conversation.
That probably would.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
definitely the case.
I don't know. Have you ever like read the transcripts of Spurgeon? Because it's pretty solid.
Those Owen, but
I mean,
Owen,
But
he-
Owen
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. You're receiving the gift of the Spirit. You either get healing or prophecy. Which will you choose?
Well, first off, I already have the Spirit.
Oh,
Just to be
well,
clear.
you get the spiritual gift, David.
I already have
That's-
spiritual gifts.
David.
This is just
Um,
one I can pick.
You're
kind
just
of a
saying
joke.
like I can heal or
You can either heal people or you can be prophetic.
man,
I
all of the. Are
I'd
you
probably
talking
go prophetic.
first? Like, are you talking
It's
about
your own interpretation.
by prophecy? You mean like telling the future with
Yeah,
some
we'll just go tell in
regularity?
the future.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're
Um,
prophetic.
Is there
Man,
any?
all the continuationists are gonna get
and
mad at
it's
us
just
right now.
it's
I'm
just no
sorry.
limit as to the healing. Like
As a
There's
disclaimer,
no-
you're just a healer.
we're not making a statement about charismaticism
made a
or
mutant power, I
continuationism. This is just a
Jeremy,
question.
as the leader,
This is-
you did not qualify any of these
But-
statements.
I gotta
yeah, I
disqualify.
mean, both are valid statements for us to talk about and discuss
Um,
continuationism and cessationism. This is just
prophecy to tell the future would be cool.
that would
That's
be kinda
not
cool.
really like the spiritual gift
No,
of prophecy,
it isn't.
Yeah.
but
It's more of a hey, you can get a power.
superpower. It's more of a
you get a
superpower
superpower
question.
between these two. Choose.
I would choose
Yeah.
to see the
I
future.
could frame it in a certain way given
'Cause
the podcast.
Then I can avoid situations where I would need to be healed because I would be able to see the future.
I would never break anything. So
Wow, that's a game changer. I go
Boom.
prophecy too.
I just blew your mind.
I would probably go prophecy. You're given the amazing gift of a new accent by our creator. Are you choosing Scottish or Australian?
Also a spiritual gift, by the
no,
way.
an accent.
Eh.
Like you grew up in a different part
Can
of
I-
the world.
If I'm going, wait,
I could
Scottish or
Scottish
Australian?
is, can you be? Is it Gaelic from Scotland?
Gaelic. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Because
basically the
Gaelic
same.
would be like the funnest accent. To me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, have you ever talked to people who are like from Wales? By the way, It's
I'd rather do
crazy.
Scottish.
I'd do Scottish if I could do the
I would
Gaelic.
do Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically because Alistair. I was listening to like Alistair Begg and Chris Hemsworth when I was writing some of these,
Yeah.
and
Honestly, if you listen to Australia, a person who's really from Australia, if it's honestly kind of hard to understand them.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, if they're real
even
thick,
people from
yeah.
Wales.
Yeah.
Like I remember in Russia talking to people from Wales, and it's like sometimes like, wait a minute, what? They could have a little whistle to how they talk sometimes.
yeah,
It's pretty
weird.
cool. So this question comes from Kaylee, not Whirling, used to be Whirling, no Apple.
Did you
Oh,
really
shoot.
call her?
And my
Kaylee
phone
Wilson?
actually still like in my email. So my Gmail still has Faith Hampton, who's now my
Oh,
wife.
her
Faith
email
Appel,
still is
Yeah.
her
Rachel
last
Grove,
name.
Rachel's got the old
David, and then
Appel, yeah.
Andrew's Kaylee Whirling.
Well, you
Would you rather walk
Yeah.
on a pile of Legos all day or eat baby puree for a week? Would
Well,
you?
so
I-
and
I'm
so
not. on the-
everywhere you step for a day,
There's a
is
Legos, barefoot. You're barefoot.
multiple Legos.
I was about
and
to
you're
say, can you
barefoot.
wear shoes?
Nope, you're barefoot. It wasn't said, but it's inherent in the question.
I'm not a father, so I'm gonna recuse myself.
I would just suffer for the day
I would suffer for the day.
because a week of just baby puree, I don't even
Be
think I would
awful.
get enough calories.
Probably not.
Like,
My body would shut
Like-
down.
yeah, I don't think I could do that.
All
for a
right.
week.
So we're all good.
We got a few more.
I have a
Time
few
for
more.
just a few more.
You can go golfing or go for a run. Quick hit. You going
Golfing, 1,000%.
Golfing.
I'm
Listen,
going running.
That's literally.
You're going
the-
on a vac.
That's like do something bad or
I've
do
never-
something fun.
I've never.
See, I'd rather go for a run. So you guys
Would
are
you
crazy.
rather do something enjoyable or something you push through?
Yeah.
I'd rather do something enjoyable.
All right, you guys are nuts.
Even if I have to walk and it's like,
It's like, would you
95
rather
degrees.
have candy or get a shot?
That's a great question.
Like-
that could,
Well,
I can
you-
add that to the list. Would
Andrew,
you
quick
okay, would you
question.
rather get candy or get a shot?
I'd rather have a piece of candy.
Andrew, would you rather
Ooh,
get
piece of candy.
slapped in the face
Yeah.
or have something good happen
Guys,
to
I'm
you?
the one
Like,
asking the questions here.
Okay.
Not you. I made this
We're
list.
here to
You're
make
going-
fun of and commentate.
You're going on a vacation. Are you going to the Sahara Desert or the South Pole?
I'm going to golf.
No, you have to check.
Can I take golf again?
No,
I would-
Sahara Desert or South Pole. It's a
Well,
giant
I'd
sand
go to
trap.
the Sahara
I go
Desert.
to the Sahara.
Yeah, I do.
That's not even tough.
I deal with heat a lot better than cold.
Yeah.
So.
I
Um,
get super depressed in the
yeah.
cold, so
Your church
It'd be
is
a bad
rethinking
vacation.
worship sets. They'll be adding either a water slide baptismal or a laser light show to accompany the worship team. What do you prefer?
Water slide
A
baptism.
water slide baptism.
Yeah.
Is that a?
It still
Call out
results
to,
in full immersion, right?
Oh, that's a Babylon Bee thing.
Yeah, it was. It was a
Yeah.
Babylon Bee article.
For a second,
The
I thought
water
it was.
slide still results in full
They both
immersion.
it still results in full immersion. Yeah.
Well, in that case, what was the other choice?
Or a laser light show to accompany the worship team.
I'd rather do the laser light
yeah, I
show.
guess I'll take the lights.
I would take lasers.
One is like desecrating a sacrament.
because that doesn't affect like the worship that you're gonna do,
Yeah, that's true.
like the
Yeah.
actual songs you're singing. I mean,
As long as I still can pick the songs, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You're leading a Bible study with a partner. Are you leading with Joyce Myers or Beth Moore?
Pass.
No, you gotta answer. There's a follow up to this.
There's a follow up. What in the world?
It's totally different.
uh,
It's not really a follow up.
Beth
it's a
Moore.
completely different question.
It's a follow up in that it's going to be asked after this one.
It follows the question.
I would Beth Moore, but
I'd probably choose
Yeah.
Beth Moore.
that's just yeah. We're splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah.
it doesn't-
You're getting-
I don't think it really makes much difference.
You're
Yeah.
getting an evangelical quarterback for your NFL team that you own. Are you drafting Tim Tebow or Sam Bradford?
Is Sam Bradford even joke?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Oh. We couldn't take Nick Foles with us.
No, because he actually won a Super Bowl. I'm not gonna pick
Nick,
him.
but
he's
he
actually
also, graduated from Liberty
Well,
online.
is Sam
so
Bradford still in the league?
I don't think he
He's
is.
made of glass.
I would take. If it was one game, I'd take
No, it's-
Sam Bradford.
I'd
If it's a
take-
whole season,
yeah.
I'd take Tim Tebow because Sam Bradford
I'd
is
take
probably going to get
Bradford.
injured after the
Yeah.
first game.
Yeah, I'd
I-
probably take Bradford.
I go with Bradford because he still had a decent completion percentage.
yeah, when he played, he was good.
Yeah.
He got hurt a lot. Your church is going to is asking you questions about communion. Are you sticking with grape juice or going to go with wine?
Jeremy's asking the good questions.
Man, so far this is going pretty well.
Give me
This,
that wine. No, I'm just kidding.
I think the optimal communion configuration might be a hot take for some people. I think the optimal configuration is to have grape juice and wine
As options.
as options. I
But
think
you get
that's
one.
optimal. If I can
it's
only
just,
have one,
And then is it just personal conviction choice
Yeah,
to
Yes.
the individual?
I get that.
Man, if I
would-
don't know if I could
would
only have one.
Yeah, I was like, I would too. I'd be fine with that. I mean, I don't have a big, like, from a conviction standpoint, like, I don't have a big issue either way. So I would say just for general acceptance, I'm fine from a grape
Yeah.
juice perspective.
I'm
but
fine with-
I'm
yeah.
100% fine with it. I think the conviction is only that it is, strictly speaking, it is what Jesus would have been drinking
Yeah.
on the night of the Last Supper. He did absolutely have wine the night of the Last Supper.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make the grape juice like not legitimate, but it's yeah.
But I'm
That's
just
fine.
I'll just take the answer of like, all right, it's more acceptable for everyone, so we'll keep it at that. Yeah.
Study more about communion though.
Yeah,
That's a very
we can discuss.
neglected.
I think we should discuss that
Yeah.
some follow-up episode.
Yeah.
Communion, at least I would say in my experience, and maybe it's similar to your experiences because we all had similar experiences.
Probably.
I would say I was not ever really taught or learned to appreciate it
Yeah,
as fully as I should,
Mm-hmm.
as I do now.
I don't think it was like necessarily not taught that you should appreciate it. It just wasn't really discussed. The importance of what it was.
Yeah, it was kind of for us most of the time growing up.
Well-
most of our lives, it was like quarterly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we
then
did
we
like a
went to
couple times a
monthly.
Because
year.
we were firmly growing up in a household where they were like, we were so against it becoming just routine
Mm-hmm.
that I think it was almost to an extreme in
Yeah.
some aspects.
It
that
was
makes
like
sense.
what's
Well, that was our church
worse
as a
being
whole.
Yeah.
what's worse being a routine or being like non-existent.
Or just like,
I'd say
like
routine.
forgetting about it for a time
Yeah.
period. Like,
What would you rather do?
yeah.
Be boring routine or be completely ignorant of something?
Yeah.
You know? And
so, I mean, it is a balance, I guess, for a lot of people. Like, yeah.
we'll do a
but
communion episode.
We
Talk
will.
about
we'll
it.
talk about that more.
All right, you're in the car with your wife. Are you listening to Florida Georgia Line or Nicki
Never.
Minaj?
Oh
Oh
crap!
gosh, this is okay.
I just said
Did you
crap
get
on the
this from
pod.
Kaylee?
No,
Because
I
this is
came up with
literally
this
like
myself.
what she
Faith
shuffles
does the same
between.
thing. Faith has a game where she picks just like iTunes top 10. I have to rate
Yeah.
them, and it's like awful because I always
Oof.
say everything's a 4 or below. I rarely pick anything like 5 or below.
Here's the thing. First, I said crap on the podcast. I apologize.
Language explicit.
Have the explicit tags on
We
this
just
episode.
isolated some of our audience.
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna be mad at you.
Oh my
whoop.
goodness. I really detest Nicki Minaj.
I do too.
I really don't
I
like
think
her.
I think I'd go Florida Georgia Line.
I think I would
honestly.
too. I feel really strongly
I
about
would-
my
yeah.
dislike
And
for
now
Nicki
it's gonna
Minaj.
make me
I
listen to Florida
dislike both
Georgia
of
Line.
them, and Florida Georgia Line, I believe, is the Nickelback of supposed country pop music. But like, that's just a hot take there.
You know what's funny?
But I
Dan
have
and-
to listen to both of them though, because that literally, like, first of all, Kaylee doesn't finish a song ever in the car. She shuffles. Like, we get we get through the first chorus, and then she picks a new one. And oftentimes I'm shuffling between both of these, so it's a lose-lose.
What's funny is there's a song right now that's really big called Tequila by Dan and Shay, which I guess is like not a pop group, but a quote unquote country group. And I was listening to it in the car with Rachel the other day, and I just said, like, don't listen to what the words are saying, but tell me if this doesn't sound like a worship song melody. And if you listen to that song, it sounds like a contemporary worship song, like, because they're both devoid of creativity. But anyway. Yeah.
So this will be our last question.
Oh boy.
Well, this wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I think we've
Hopefully.
done all right so
although,
far.
although we have one more to go.
Yeah.
All right, so we can do a cross podcasted live event. Or doing it with the Happy Rant or Ear Biscuits.
Tough.
Happy Rant with the host Ted Cluck, Barnabas Piper, or Ronnie Martin, or Ear Biscuits, Rhett and Link.
So much more realistically, it would be Happy Rant because geographically, and in terms of church networks, we're in the church network that Ronnie is a part of. So realistically speaking, that would come first. Secondarily, I mean, no disrespect to the Happy Rant, but Ear Biscuits has a huge listener base.
Wow, you're just using them for their platform.
So yeah, and
They've got like
Gut
15
check and
million
Mego,
Yeah.
very proud of you. Chaz Marriott's taught you well.
from a marketing perspective, I am going to respectfully pass on the
What a
Happy Rant.
sellout.
And I will sell out, but I also really enjoy Red Link's podcast.
Yeah,
so,
I've been a Rhett and Link fan for a while. I love that they're
for a while.
Yeah, well, I've watched their old
Yeah.
stuff and everything as they
Even
were
my wife listens.
growing.
My wife listens to very few
but
podcasts,
they're
and she listens
funny,
to theirs.
and I think for just a lighthearted episode, and just to get to meet them, I would rather go that route.
And I know they're listening, so guys, Red and Link.
Rhett and Link,
See, I'd rather still
Yeah.
go with
you're going on tour this
What am
summer.
I-
If you're in town,
I did tell
wanna
you
reach
guys.
out?
I did tell you guys they reached out to us, right?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I forgot to
But-
say that.
Well, now this is.
They wanna
Now I feel
collab?
bad if I
Yeah.
choose a Happy Rank. Because I'd probably choose a Happy Rank just because I think it'd be fun. I just want to. Okay, full disclosure, I just want to meet Ted Cluck. That's really the only reason why. I
We
think
could
it'd be fun
probably
to talk
arrange
to.
that with like less work. Than,
I know that.
That could
but
probably be doable.
I'd probably go down to Union and be like, "Hey, I just wanted to meet you. I was bored."
He is
Yeah.
he is a person.
So,
He is a person.
so we have a few more questions, and we'll save them hopefully for another round.
And if you guys have any good ones too, to resubmit for another episode, if you enjoyed
Yeah.
this, we can do another round of this, and you can send them to us, and
any
Yeah.
kind of
can add it to-
questions,
yeah.
whether
yeah,
it's
send them to our email.
we
That's
especially like
Brothers
ones that
Talking
are
Teen.
going to lead us to take a hot take and have to take a bold stance. So
Yeah,
if you
make
have any
us-
heated ones,
we'll make us take stances on stuff that we either can or cannot explain.
or we disagree on, but in a
Yeah.
fun way.
yeah.
But this is fun episode, Jeremy. It didn't burn to the ground.
I had fun, and that's what's
Well,
important.
we'll see what the comments look like because I'm
cares?
not sad.
we had fun. If we have fun, guys, full disclosure, we do this podcast. We like you guys listening.
This will
but we
be-
have fun just meeting up and talking.
Yeah, and this will be funny because some people that listen to our podcast have already said to me like, you guys have really good stuff. You should get basically they're being polite, but they're saying you should be more serious. And then
this is the opposite of that.
And then other people are like, I really enjoy the time you guys just hang out and kind of are lighthearted. So
Well, like a previous episode, there's a time for both.
Exactly.
And this is a time for this or that.
Well, and
that's
and
what I
here's
think
this-
we're trying to do. That is like
Yeah.
we're trying to have a balance of like lighthearted, but yeah, we want to talk about serious topics as well.
Exactly.
Um,
Like we're trying to be a podcast in a world that takes itself too seriously, and in a world that everyone counts themselves the experts on everything, and all of that sort of culture. We're trying to just be three guys that are learning and talking, learning about life
Mm-hmm.
as God teaches us, and relating it to each other and having fun while we're doing it. So
And that's going to lead to some important stuff to talk about and also some fun stuff. Like,
what's weird is that us explaining that right now makes this whole podcast seem like an object lesson, which
Yeah.
it wasn't.
No,
Mhm.
I just made up a bunch of questions and said you guys have to answer them.
Yeah,
I basically just like commandeered this episode.
he did.
mhm.
And I think it went okay. Like Andrew said last episode, I think it was fun. I think it went well.
That's gonna be how we're gonna close our episodes.
I think every episode
So
we've
that
ended
was
with,
fun.
that was good. That was fun.
every podcast has like how they close, and ours is gonna be. I think that was all right.
That's pretty neat.
Which Jeremy, since it's your episode, you can close this out.
I will
so-
close this out. It's been fun. You guys have a great week. And my reco this week is Nature Walk from YouTube 1 and 2. It's pretty fun and exciting.
Boy, you're throwing it back.
I threw it back.
I think I have actually another reco. Another reco
and also,
for me.
can I give you another one? I just
Boy.
read Barnabas Piper's Help My Unbelief, and it's very good. So you should read it.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. You got 2 recos. You threw them in there. This is kind of a music reco. Mike Main's in the Branches
Good stuff.
put out a new CD. It is.
Oh, is that out now?
It is out. I think it's called When We Were in Love, and it is 80s influenced sad pop music, sad pop rock
I
music.
heard the single from that. Like he released that one song early, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's
80s,
really
man.
different.
Yeah.
It's really different from him, and the music is pretty happy,
They were
but all
fun
the
to see
lyrics
live.
are sad.
Remember seeing them live? They were pretty fun.
They're awesome live. But yeah, Mike Main's in the Branches. When We Were in Love, pretty good CD. And we'll see you guys next time.